Hello, everyone. I'm Adam Tai,
Hello, I'm mtg-world.
and we're here at Beckett Grading headquarters to present to you the Tournament of the Century. We're at Beckett because we're going to be grading some of the more expensive cars here, so they're helping us with that. And Guillaume is our sponsor with mtg-world, so you can go to their site, mtg-world.com, to get all your gaming needs. And so this tournament is going to be a sealed tournament, a single elimination knockout. So we have 8 players, so there'll be 3 rounds. We have 8 alpha starters, as you can see here, and then a Legends booster box. So it's pretty old school, right? So each player will get 1 alpha starter and then 3 packs of Legends to build their sealed decks, and then we'll begin. All right, I'll go first, and so I'll open the 3 Legends packs first, and then an Alpha starter. So we're really only going to show the rares for the Legends, since not that many interesting
A few
things.
uncommons, maybe.
Huh?
A few uncommons, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a few uncommons if there's anything cool. I think that's a rules card or something like that. Yeah. Alright, so my rare. The Eye of Chaos. And alright, nothing too notable after that, so
But not as if you fucking.
this on top. Alright, second Legends pack. I don't want to be the guy that cuts my Legends cards, right? So
Especially your Tabernacle from the page.
this time I got the rules card.
Oh. This card has spiked like a few months ago.
Yeah. Field of Dreams.
Yeah. You have a good card playable for your deck.
Playable, yeah. Nothing too interesting for the uncommons. Alright, last pack. Come on, Mana Drain. Tabernacle.
Moat?
Yeah, Moat would be pretty good for a sealed event,
sure.
right?
Yeah, Moat is really nice. Or the Abyss would be good. Actually.
How about another Void? Is that good?
No, it would be annoying actually.
Well, that's not too good for me.
Even a
Spiritual Sanctuary, and again, nothing too exciting. Alright, so hopefully my alpha starter is a little bit better than this.
You have a bit of creatures actually for your deck.
Yeah. So let's move this aside onto another playmat. Alright, so let's get going with this thing. A lot more expensive than the other one.
This is the most interesting part.
I guess I need a full tab, or just go to the top.
Opening an alpha starter for dummies.
Alright, a few more cuts apparently.
You are shaking.
Maybe a little bit. Alright. Gonna sneak a peek over there?
Yes.
Alright. Let's go ahead and. So you see that there's a binding side to the book. So you just want to stick your scalpel into the non-bound side of the book and then go all the way around.
Doesn't seem that easy actually.
Yeah. Alright, so let's get everything off. He's still trying to sneak a peek over there. Alright, so I'm gonna go with the commons first. I got an island. Let's see, anything interesting? So, alright, I can play this, right?
Yes.
Maybe playable, so we're at, we don't have too many playable cards in this set.
This is
a good card.
That's good, yeah.
This one is pretty low pop.
Yeah.
I think it's pop 5.
And it's playable.
Yeah.
Your deck creature is good.
It's good. Low pop, but very hard to grade at 9.5. This is also low pop. I think pop 3. Fireball is
good pick.
pop 4. Circle Protection Blue is pop 3, I believe. So when I say pop, I mean there are that many that exist at the 9.5 grade. Right? Playgrass, that's I think pop 2 at 9.5 right now. One's Goblin Raiders, it's pop 2, 9.5. Guardian Angel, pop 5. Some playable cards, but here's a Land War Elves. Alright, I think that's enough of that. Let's go through the uncommons. So I'm gonna
Maybe you want to.
Alright, so these are the rares. Alright, so we can start stacking these up a little bit. Alright, so we got a White Knight. It's playable. Phantasmal Forces. It's playable. Berserk. Good money card. Also playable.
And Sword also, yeah.
Swords to Plowshares. Playable. Nice. And I have a Rod of Ruin that's
very playable card actually.
Alright, then these over here. Alright, so Moment of Truth. See the first card. Holy shit. A Black Lotus. That's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, let's see what the second card is. We have a Lord of the Pit, also good for playing. Alright,
It's really good actually, huh? No, I mean for grading.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this card. Oh man, my hands are still a little jittery.
Lucky you, actually.
Yeah, I mean it looks pretty nice. I would think probably at least a 9. Maybe a shot at a 9.5. So pretty nice card.
Hold it up.
All right.
Hold it up one more time.
Very playable.
Hold it up.
Huh?
We all wanted to open this. He did as the first try. Nice job. We are all a bit jealous actually, honestly.
Yeah. Alright. Okay, so let's continue with the second opening.
You can really continue now?
Yeah.
Alright, great. Hey, I'm Todd. Here's Adam, and we're going to do card opening for second grouping here. We've got 3 Legends booster packs, and we'll start. Put the Alpha Starter aside for the moment. Adam's still recovering from his devastating opening.
If you just see me with a huge smile on my face this entire time, you'll know why.
Oh, here we go. So I'm wondering if we are going to play with any cards and...
I think probably not unless it's Contract from Below, because that's just an awesome card to play with. Right?
So we've got here, invert them, alright. So we've got Falling Star.
Well, we're not going to go through all of them, right?
So we can take a look at the others here. Anything of any great interest or playability.
Really. Yeah, let's just move on to the next pack.
Alright, sounds good.
Boomerang.
Like the art, Boomerang. Alright. These side pile. Open up the next. do we have here? We've got Stang.
I mean, pretty good for playing. Yeah.
Left chisel. Another headless horseman.
Oh, pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
It's really good for this format. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next pack.
Oh, missing a card and the rules. Rules. Cat Warriors.
You got some pretty good playables, but I mean, I guess nothing of too much value. I mean, money, right? But another
pyrotechnics.
Wow.
Yeah, another boomerang.
But we know what we're gonna be playing against.
A little bit of red today. All right, well, let's gather these up, put them aside. Now for the bigger opening.
All right.
So there's the box. Side and see where the rule book is, so we know the rares are there, so I'm going to pull it out that way.
Now gonna take a peek.
No. I don't want to know. I don't want to know until I know it. So I'm really slow at this. Just to be super careful.
I don't think you can be too careful, right? So.
You know, because of the cellophane wrapper here, it gets caught a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to actually move the knife just all the way through. So we're just not strong enough for this.
I'm not practicing my knife skills at home. One day the valuable rare from this pack will be the rule books, but so many have been destroyed.
Unless cutting through them. Oh, that's going to be the case. I mean, it's worth a little something already, but.
So this should open like a clamshell. They're reasonably done.
Right.
Put that aside, and we'll take the 2 cards off the bottom. These should be rares.
You're shaking a little bit too.
Yeah. You think? All right. So shall we dust off the commons first and take a quick look?
Let's just take a quick look at these.
There's commons and rule book. Bing. Fog. Island.
Spray's dead. That's pretty low pop, I think. 2 or 3 right now. Creature Bond, I think. Low pop as well. Look at him just tossing these onto the playmat. Grizzly Bears, you got a playable. Right?
Yeah. So there's Grizzly Bears in there. Stream of Life.
Maybe I saw the wrong card. Let's keep going.
All right. Dwarven Warriors. What it's worth. Firebreather. Scathe Zombies. They groaned. They stirred. This Pegasus. Terror.
Terror. Good. Yeah.
Dark Ritual.
Dark Ritual and Fireball. That's
And Fireball.
you got some low pop, and this is quite good for limited format.
Cop Blue, which I think is also
this looks like
pop. Looks a little bit like yours, but
look at this. This is the same
completely
sequence.
like yours.
So it looks like these just got all pulled off the same sheet in order. It seems like all these cards that I got in a row in my deck. That you got
very,
in a row
very
as
similar.
well. I think there might be. I think even the Guardian Angel is back here. See the last card. So that remember that sequence from my deck. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Foreshadowing.
Uncommons. So does that mean that he's also going to pull a Lotus? Let's move some of these cards.
shaking hands. Yes.
Okay.
Gathering up the cards.
I think we're in a space.
Adam the Gathering.
Yeah.
We'll look aside. The lure.
Assault mono. We don't have to look at all of them.
Yeah.
Let's just fan
The
through.
White Ward. Flashburners.
Here you go. Here's a pretty nice playable for his sealed event. Air Elemental.
British Artillery.
And that's pretty good too. Lure is low pop, and so is Counterspell. This is, I think, a pop 4 or 5. Let's see. Alright. I mean, he has some more playables, but let's move on to the rares. So, this was your front card. This is the back card.
Yeah, let's do the front card first.
Okay. Lord Atlantis.
Zombie Master.
Alright. 2 pretty iconic rares from Alpha.
Should we clap for you the same way?
Yeah. Well,
Hello everyone, how are you doing? So we're back here with the grade of the Lotus. So I'm going to show you real quick. This card did get a 9.5 overall. I'll talk a little bit about the subgrades a little later. So first, we did break our starter opening videos down into 4 parts. So this is just at the end of the first 2 openings. But please be sure to watch our other 6. This Lotus was not the only Power 9 that was opened from this tournament. Okay, so first I'll go over a little bit about my thought process whenever I was opening this deck, and the positioning of the rares and how maybe some of the rares could be mapped whenever you see one on top. Okay, so whenever I pulled the deck out of the box, I saw the front rare, which was Lord of the Pit, and if you reference a beta or an alpha sheet, you'll see that a Lord of the Pit is right under Black Lotus. So about 50% of the alpha starter decks that I've seen opened will have this pattern where if the front card, the second card is going to be the one that's on top of the front card on the sheet. So whenever I saw this Lord of the Pit, I kind of got excited and a little bit nervous at the same time, in that I knew that I had a 50% chance of hitting a Black Lotus. So, my hands started shaking a little bit when I saw that, but, I guess that was a good thing. Some of the other patterns that we've seen for the way that the sheets are arranged. Well, if you looked at some of the other videos, I think 3 out of the 8 decks that we had just straight top to bottom. So this pattern that I talked about. 2 of them had just a diagonal down to the left. So you would look at a card and then whatever, it would go, down and to the left. And then 2 of them had, a diagonal down to the left and then going down 2 more. And the last one, I think, it had, it went diagonally down to the right and then down a lot of slots. But whenever I've seen an alpha starter open, I've never seen a starter where the 2 rares are not at least on the same column or on two adjacent columns. So, I don't know what that means. The sample size is probably too small to tell, but, there's, it's very likely that two rares are on the same column or two adjacent columns. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the subgrades of the Black Lotus real quick. So, got zoomed in real quick. Okay, you can see, this Black Lotus here. It received a 9.5 overall with 10 on centering, 9 corners, 9.5 edges, and 10 surface. So I'm going to come up and just show you this card real quick. So take a look at the corners. You can see a little bit of white, and that's probably why it got 9 on corners. And the edges are, basically almost completely flawless. And then when you get down to the corners, you can again see a little bit of white. So I'll try to angle it so you can see everything. And the card does have perfect centering, and then I'll show you the back. So the back actually looks completely flawless to me. I really, don't see anything wrong with the corners or the edges. So, it's too bad that the card didn't look like this on the front, or else it might have received a 10. But, straight out of the pack, and you can see that the corners, are not perfect. And one of the reasons is, well, I guess there are probably two reasons for this. One is that Alpha, the way that they were cut, the corners weren't, cut so cleanly. Some of them were kind of pressed off. And the other thing is that, Alpha decks are packed extremely tight, so the plastic is sometimes pulling on the corners. So, the first card that I opened, the front card, Lord of the Pit, it only had an 8.5 on corners, whereas the Lotus had a 9. So, I was actually talking to a friend about it, how two cards that you could have gotten in a row was Black Lotus with a Mox Emerald behind it, which, would be incredible. But I said, I would probably prefer Lord of the Pit and Black Lotus, because it would, probably mean that my Black Lotus is in better condition. And, that's exactly what happened. So I'm pretty excited about that. So next I'm going to talk about, just collecting. Why do I collect Beckett cards, and why we submitted, everyone in this tournament, why we chose to use Beckett to grade all of our cards. Well, the number one reason for me is I liked the grade BGS 10. It's really, you can't really compare them to a PSA 10. So a PSA 10 and BGS 9.5, people usually say, they're equivalent, monetary value is about the same. But when we're talking about a BGS 10, everything is supposed to be perfect. And the card, if you ever look at a PSA 10 versus a BGS 10, you really can't compare them. The cards are just so different. And because PSA doesn't have that, higher grade than a PSA 10, you can't distinguish between, you can as a collector look at a card and say, well, this PSA 10 is clearly better than this PSA 10. But, if you're trying to sell a card, nobody's going to recognize that. And, I like the fact that BGS is able to, distinguish the difference between a very high level quality card to just, a high quality card. The second reason is a lot of people talk about ROI of, their collection. And, it seems that in the past few years, everyone has moved over to BGS. And generally in, markets, if a market tends to move a certain way and everyone demands a certain good and you don't, get with it, then you're not going to see the maximum, return from your investments. And, sometimes people talk about companies grading fakes and inked cards and things like that. And, of course, there are, problems with that with any, human grading. And, that's not what I'm here to talk about. But, like the rate of return to me, I think on Beckett cards is significantly better whenever we're dealing with Magic. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we're going to show, whenever we get all the cards back, we're going to show all the grades for all 8 decks. All right, thank you.